Hey guys, my name's Blake Cadwell. I'm the co-founder at Soundly.com, and today we're taking a field trip. I'm wearing the ReSound Nexia hearing aids, which are their most recent flagship devices. And these devices are known for background noise management. Now, they got a lot of attention for their release of Bluetooth low energy audio, which will eventually be compatible with Auracast. But the underlying functionality of these hearing aids that's still most impressive to me is their handling in background noise situations. So what we're doing today is I'm going into one of the loudest local bars in my neighborhood here in Los Angeles. And I'm going to give these hearing aids a test. I'll play around with the app to see what the features and functionalities do in this type of environment. And then I'll go back to the studio and I'll share more of my thoughts with you on how this whole experience went. Before we walk in, let me give you a little bit more background on this project. ReSound recently did a partnership with an app called SoundPrint. Now, SoundPrint is essentially the Yelp for noise. They rate local institutions on how noisy they are. And typically, people use this app to find quiet locations to have drinks or meet up with friends. But ReSound wanted to use this in an interesting way. And their idea was to find the loudest places in cities across America, then partner with ReSound hearing aid wearers like myself and test out their hearing technology inside of these loud environments. So we're about to head into the Semi-Tropic, which is here in my local neighborhood. It's one of the loudest locations on SoundPrint. Let's see how things hold up. All right, so we're back in the studio. Yesterday, I had a chance to take my ReSound Nexia hearing aids to one of the loudest bars in my neighborhood, according to the SoundPrint app. And now I'm back to talk about the experience overall, some things that I noticed, and some things that I learned as I was playing around with the app in that loud background noise environment. The way I want to break my notes down is to start most broadly with the overall sound quality observations that I noticed, the things that I realized my hearing aids were doing in this loud background noise environment. And then we'll take a closer look at the app and I'll show you some of the settings that I played around with, what I found most helpful and what I didn't find helpful as I was switching things around in this loud background noise environment. So overall, it's well understood that ReSound Nexia is one of the premium products on the market. It's among a handful of products that are built to analyze the world around you, build sort of a picture of the room that you're in, figure out where the background noise is coming from. In my case, it was mapping those big speakers, the conversation that might be happening on either side of me, the music that's coming in from the other speakers in the room, and then even mapping out some of the height and width of the room to understand echoes and reverberation. So these devices are doing a lot of hard work using their external microphones and the sounds that they're picking up to build sort of a picture or a profile of where I'm sitting in space. And because of that, the ReSound Nexia hearing aids do a really good job of isolating speech. So I didn't really have any trouble hearing speech sounds while I was in this environment. I was able to interact with the waitstaff, was able to interact with others I was around, and hear conversations really clearly. So that was great. In terms of the overall quality of sound, ReSound has one of the brightest and most crisp sound qualities among their peers in the hearing aid set. You can look at other brands that might have a chiller or more relaxed sound. In general, this bright and crisp sound quality gives me a lot of confidence in loud background noise environments. All right, let's take a closer look at the ReSound Nexia app. Now, the ReSound Nexia app connects to your hearing aids in real time, meaning you can change the volume, you can change your mode, you can do a lot of different things to impact the way the sound is coming into your ears. Now, the first thing to note about ReSound and their app is that while I think their app is very intuitive, I actually like to leave my hearing aids in automatic mode. And the reason for that is that I think the devices do a really good job of naturally switching when things are changing dynamically around me. For example, if someone walks up beside me or behind me, the hearing aids will quickly open up and shift their focus to that person's voice. Whereas if I force them to front focus, I might miss that sound. Now that said, this review is unique because I was putting myself into a really loud background noise environment. So I wanted to play around with the app and see what kind of relief I could get by changing some of the settings in real time. The The first and most obvious place to go is to go into the noise mode, which is one swipe away on my app. Now, your audiologist may set up your app in different configurations, but most audiologists will put that noise mode front and center so you can quickly get to it. Some folks will even put that as a button push or a mode switch so they can quickly get into noise mode. Now, noise mode in general is going to focus your microphones more in front of you, try to really isolate the speech sounds from the person that you're probably sitting with or getting drinks with, getting dinner with, etc. Now, within noise mode, you have the option to reduce noise, typically for comfort, or you can increase speech clarity. I played around with both of these settings and I found them both really useful. Typically, what I notice is that reducing noise will give me more comfort once I feel like I have a grasp on the conversation. Maybe I'm sitting across from someone and I feel like I'm in a good flow. I can reduce noise just to give myself more comfort in that setting. Now, increasing clarity is going to increase the brightness of all sounds. So it does make the sound overall a little bit more intense, but it will increase the crispness and the sound quality of speech all around you. When I switched into this mode, I was hearing conversations not just at my table, but also at the table next to me. And if I focused, I could pick up conversations from around the room. Now, if you really want to become your own DJ, go even deeper into the app and customizations in this background noise situation, you can open up the EQ, which gives you a chance to actually change the frequencies that you're hearing. You can increase high frequencies, decrease mid frequencies. You can play around with it until you like exactly how things are set up. Similarly, you can manage the amount of noise reduction that you're actually receiving through your devices. You can go from strong to almost no noise reduction, where it completely opens things up. You can play with all of these settings. Again, most people are going to leave their devices in automatic, and the great thing about premium devices is they're mostly set up not to be touched. But it's great to know that these features exist and you can play around with them if you're struggling in a particular situation. Overall, I'd say ReSound Nexia gets really strong marks in this difficult situation. I'm not going to choose to go to an extremely loud background noise environment every night, but it was fun to do this test and to see what these hearing aids are really capable of. I should say I'm not really surprised because I tried ReSound Omnia, the previous version of these hearing aids, at an NFL game where the decibel count went up over 110, and I was able to maintain speech clarity in that situation. I'll link that blog post down below if you want to read that story and a little bit more about that overall experience. I hope you found this interesting and useful. Thanks for watching and good luck with your research.